Welcome to Facts TV News, where everything is true. Beware of fake crime scene news on WhatsApp, other social media, say police. The police are advising the public that a message circulating on social media and other popular messaging apps regarding an active crime scene in Bayside, Portmore is fake. In a release, the Jamaica Constabulary Force Communications Unit said the message has been warning people to avoid the Bayside area after several individuals sustained gunshot injuries in an incident in the area. The police say there is no active crime scene at the location and have advised that people are free to conduct lawful business as usual. In the meantime, law enforcers also use the opportunity to warn people against disseminating fake news, as such actions have the potential to cause considerable panic among the general public and could create public mischief. The latter, they cautioned, is a chargeable offense. Hand, foot, and mouth disease causes suspension of face-to-face classes at Clarendon School. Face-to-face classes have been suspended at the Chandler's Pen Infant and Primary School in Clarendon after 4 suspected cases of hand, foot, and mouth disease were reported among students from the infant department. According to a release, students from grades 1 to 6 in the primary division would have been in direct contact with the students from the infant department during a children's treat held on Friday, May 27, 2022. As a result, face-to-face learning has been suspended for the rest of the week to facilitate deep cleaning and proper sanitization. The latter is expected to start on Tuesday, May 31. All classes will therefore be facilitated online in order to limit occurrence of students missing teaching days. Arrangements are also being made for the National Grade 3 Diagnostic Examination to be administered as planned. The exams are set to begin June 2022. Transport Authority in final stages of discussions to December's gas relief grants. Following the government's announcement that it will be making a special $2 billion provision to provide targeted support to Jamaicans who are most adversely affected by the impact of high gas and energy prices, the Transport Authority says it is in the final stages of discussions with the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service regarding the distribution of gas relief funds. According to a release, the Transport Authority says talks surrounding the matter are expected to be completed by the end of June. The discussions are said to be centered around developing an efficient and effective mechanism for public passenger vehicles operators to apply for and access gas grants in a transparent and accountable manner. In March 2022, the Minister of Finance and Public Service, Dr. Nigel Clark, announced the provision of $25,000 gas relief grants for public passenger vehicle operators to help cushion the rising cost of fuel. No disruption in operations at Falmouth Port, says Port Authority. The Port Authority of Jamaica (PAJ) and Royal Caribbean are reporting that the incident involving the cruise line vessel Harmony of the Seas on arrival at the Falmouth Port in Trelawney on May 26 resulted in no disruption to operations. Royal Caribbean, in a statement, indicated that the ship, which came into contact with an extension of the dock, incurred minor damage of no consequence and was repaired the same day. There were no injuries to guests or crew and only minor cosmetic damage of the ship's stern. Sailing continued as scheduled, the statement said. For its part, the PAJ said the vessel collided with a mooring dolphin, adding that the incident did not result in any significant damage. The vessel was eventually moored without delay, using the remaining infrastructure of the bollard on the remaining dolphin to stabilize the vessel. Subsequently, passengers were able to disembark and proceed as planned to their tours and other scheduled activities, the PAJ told the state-run GIS News. The mooring dolphin was displaced and will require reconstruction. Our engineering department is currently assessing the damage for further action. The Falmouth Port facility is designed to accommodate the safe berthing of vessel, notwithstanding the inaccessibility of the mooring dolphin, and will continue to do so as per normal port operations, the document added. The PAJ wishes to reassure the public and all stakeholders that this incident will not result in any disruption to cruise shipping operations or require any adjustment to cruise schedule, the statement added. The vessel left Jamaica at approximately 4 p.m. last Thursday as it continues its sail schedule. Harmony of the Seas is the third largest cruise ship in the world, weighing in at 226,963 tons and carrying up to 6,410 passengers. Opposition leader slams PM for NHD comments. Opposition leader Mark Golden has accused Prime Minister Andrew Holness of sending confusing signal about the National Housing Trust NHD in declaring that it is not a charity organization but a financial institution. Golden argued that the impression some people are getting from the Prime Minister's declaration is that the NHD will no longer be providing loans to its contributors. He has created pure confusion in his remarks about the Housing Trust. What is he really saying in his remarks about the Housing Trust? The impression he has given people is that the Housing Trust is no longer going to make loans but is going to provide interest rate subsidies to private sector institutions like the banks, Golden argued. The opposition spokesman was ostensibly reacting to Holness' comment while addressing the recent groundbreaking ceremony for the Union Acres housing development in Irwin St. James. The NHD is first and foremost a financial institution to support the development of the housing in Jamaica. There is an illogical thinking among our people where it's believed that if we run our business as a charitable organization, almost that we will have the resources to be charitable. I want that point to sink in, the Prime Minister stated at the time. But Golden underscored that the Housing Trust was established by former Prime Minister Michael Manley with a mandate to provide housing solutions for the working masses. We know that the Housing Trust was built by Marco Joshua Manley for the works of this country to give them the opportunity to own homes, Golden stated. And that has been its focus, and that is what it is there for. It cannot be treated like any old financial institution. It has a development objective and mandate by law. He argued that the opposition People's National Party PNP stands ready to defend the initial NHD. The People's National Party will stand up to protect the National Housing Trust because it is a great institution built out of the progressive thinking. It is as an institution of social engineering, and thousands of Jamaican families have benefited because of that great institution, which was implemented under the leadership of Michael Manley, Golden stated. He was addressing the South Trelawney PNP Combined Divisional Meeting at the Cedric Titus High School in Clarkstown, Trelawney, Saturday night. 4 of the party's council's candidates represented at the meeting. They are Lloyd Gillens, Joel Barrett, Mark Monday, and Simone Guy. Golden is not the first PNP official to respond to Holness' comments. Just last Tuesday, opposition spokesman on Transport Works and Housing Nikhil Phillips said the Prime Minister's words were not only insulting to Jamaican workers and their trade unions, but was an unwarranted and unfortunate remark, especially during Workers' Week. Holness surprise at gang presence in St. Elizabeth. Following months of terror being unleashed by gangsters in deep rural sections of St. Elizabeth, Prime Minister Andrew Holness on Friday expressed shock that the criminal elements are being established in sections of this traditionally low-crime South Central parish. Right now, believe it or not, there is a gang terrorizing in this area. On my way here, we stopped and spoke to the police, and I am always happy to be moving around in the country and getting a chance to get the local reports. I was very surprised that even in these remote parts, these rural parts of Jamaica, the criminal element is entrenching itself, he said while addressing the handing over of the house under the social housing program in the Southfield, south of Santa Cruz in St. Elizabeth. Statistics from the Jamaica Constabulary Force show that murder, string robberies, and report cases of rape have increased since the start of this year when compared to the corresponding period last year, January 1 to May 23rd. Among the murders are 3 incidents, which police say are linked to the speculation gang based in Western St. Elizabeth. The police theorize that poker boxes are the main target of criminals. Criminals broke into a bar in Hampton area of traditionally low-crime neighborhood community of Malvern, atop the Santa Cruz Mountains in the early hours of Wednesday, April 13. The criminals also allegedly stole assorted expensive liquors and musical equipment and reportedly raped the bartender who was staying at the premises. Worse was to follow as the fleeing, heavily armed criminals who found their escape plan disrupted as daylight broke shot dead 2 residents, construction worker 37-year-old Michael James and 51-year-old farmer Courtney Smith. James was said to have been among a group of angry people chasing the hoodlums while Smith, who was headed for his farm, presumptuously unaware of the danger, was apparently mistaken by his killers as one of those pursuers. With the assistance of residents, police later cornered the alleged getaway vehicle and held the driver, 37-year-old farmer Carlos Beckford of Brompton, Western St. Elizabeth. Beckford was reportedly intercepted on a little-used road which links Malvern to Mountainside and other Pleasure Plains communities, close to Ivory Cottage, which is about 2 miles down slope from Malvern. A remote, blissfully quiet farming community, Ivory Cottage clings to the southern slope of Santa Cruz Mountain, just above the farm-rich Pleasure Plains, which was away the Caribbean Sea and St. Elizabeth capital Black River several miles away. In the Spring Park community near Black River, there has also been terror, with the police identifying the speculation gang behind the killings. The most recent incident on May 21st was the murder of 30-year-old Chadwick White, a resident and neighbor of Spring Park. White was shot and killed by gunmen traveling on a motorcycle. Head of the St. Elizabeth Police Division, Dwight Daly, said White was on bail for charges of murder, illegal possession of firearm, and assault at common law. The police chief added that White was warned to leave Spring Park. Based on police intelligence, he was advised to leave his community as he was marked for death by members of the speculation gang. He, however, returned to the community without the knowledge of the police, and whilst there he was killed, added Daly. On May 13, 5 people were shot, 2 fatally and 3 injured, at a bar in Spring Park. Holness said the government is focused on improving people's social conditions to deter criminal behavior. We can never ignore that outside of greed and just a criminal mind, the criminal element is also fueled by social conditions, he said. So as much as we can do to improve social conditions so that it will remove the impetus of criminal behavior, we will do it, he added. Please remember to subscribe, like, share, and click the notification bell for daily updates.